My name's Angus, and in March I started a business called Airbike, and it's public bicycle sharing for Sydney. Basically, what we've done is we've got a smart lock on the back of a bike. With our app, you scan it with the unlock feature. I'll just bring it up here so everyone can see. So with our app, you scan it with the unlock feature, uses the QR code scanner, take it to the back of the bike, scan the QR code, which is mounted on the lock here, which is electronic lock, and then the bike will unlock. Inside the chip here, the black chip, we have a Pi Anywhere device that we've coded with Arduino and has connected to a servo motor that operates the lock, obviously. So how are we set up? So we're backed by a software company called TerraPages in Pyrmont, and they've been servicing Telstra and developing other geospatial apps for more than 30 years. And then on the board, we have a technical director called Terry Collins, who's also a director of TerraPages. And then we outsource a lot of our engineering to a company called Reed Group, and I'm on the board of Reed Group. And then obviously marketing is all internalised. So hopefully this works. This will just give you a brief rundown on how the thing goes.
We facilitated this Airbike service by developing an app and server infrastructure with an innovative smart locking system that tracks bikes in real time. You simply download our app, find a bike on the map, go to the bike and scan the QR code. The bike unlocks automatically and you are charged $1 for every 30 minutes you use the bike. When you finish the ride, you simply manually lock the bike. You leave the bike in a non-obtrusive public space, and together we can revolutionise the last mile of public transport.
So that's what we're doing. We're revolutionising transport. And it's going to affect everyone here at the university. So our beta fleet of 50 is going to launch here in September. And we've already purchased that and we will deliver that. That's a guarantee. It's going to be $1.30 per ride for 30 minutes, and you can ride as long as you like. And the max charge we're ever going to charge is going to be $20, so that if our lock fails, no one's going to call saying that they have a $400 bill. People are going to ask, how are we going to make money on $1.30? So this is where the real value of our business comes from, the secondary model. So basically, this is what's happened in China, where they have a similar system operating. All of those is one bike moving, and you have the timestamp down the bottom. That's 3 a.m. So we've already been approached by the City of Sydney, and other government agencies also wish to purchase this data. So that's where we can really make a bit of a killing, as opposed to just a bit of a profit. So our expansion plans. So we've been funded, my side of the business, in order to keep up with my investor, to keep it 50-50. We ran an Indiegogo campaign, and we reached, I think it was last time, $17,500 on my side. And obviously my investor will match that, and that's going to pay for the second fleet. We're obviously looking for more funding for the third fleet, which is a manufacturing run with a bicycle manufacturer in Taiwan for 2000. That's planned for February. And then intercity expansion will happen very shortly after that. Now, there are risks, as with any business. Software risks are obviously a big one. There is obviously the chance that we get hacked or we have a complete functionality failure. But in order to mitigate this, our strategy is to back all horses. If there's 4 lock manufacturers, well, we design the locks obviously, but if we can get 4 manufacturers to build them, then we will. Basically to ensure that we're going to get everything delivered to us. We don't actually mind spending that extra money if it guarantees us working. And then obviously non-delivery is a big supplier risk, but we're mitigating that through legal contracts and having multiple suppliers, as I said. Cash flow is going to be the killer of any business in the startup industry, but we actually got a fair amount of expected cash flow, which we'll go through shortly. And legislative changes, I mean, a government can just savage us at any moment. But we are aware of this, and we have very close relationships both with the uni, state government, and actually one of our biggest supporters is the Lord Mayor. Competition obviously is an issue for us. We're better than them, to put it very simply. We have better bikes, we have tech that you can trust, a team you can talk to based in Australia, and our positions of the bikes themselves are more convenient for our users. A bit of a snapshot into cash flow. The expenses obviously hit hard when we have a small fleet, but then as you can see the fleet growing, it just exponentially grows the revenue. Yeah, so anyone got any questions?
Yeah, okay, it's on. Angus, thank you for that presentation. Look, I could say you sound like the sort of Uber for bikes, but it's more complicated than that, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, like an Uber, yeah, you are pushing up against regulatory challenges, and I didn't see those quite on the list, but things like safety, things like helmets, things like permission to ride on the streets, things like if someone gets run over by a bus. Can you just address those sorts of issues, please?
So there's two paths we're taking with this. Obviously, we're completely government compliant. If you actually look at the bike itself, although I've disconnected it to get it up in the lift, it's got a front brake and a rear brake. In Australia, you only need one brake. It's also got lights. The rear one isn't attached, but that'll be, it's a metal bracket that we're building for that. So we're completely government compliant. As far as helmets are concerned, in our terms and conditions, this is labelled, and we are insured for public liability without helmets as a requirement. And that was a big step for us, because most insurers came back with a helmet requirement. Yeah, so then the other front to it is that we are building lobbying power. So we're very, very close with Clover Moore and her cycling strategy team in order to push the state government to change helmet laws. And this actually is partnered with the Australian Bicycle Network. So we're starting to build quite a lobbying force, and they're actually expecting to run an ad campaign very soon. Any other questions?
Do you have any stats around how many people do need your service, or maybe how many, or at least like a proxy, like how many people already cycle in Sydney, and then what portion of that do you need to break even on your business model?
Yeah, so the key number in this business is number of rides per day per bicycle. And in China, which has a riding culture, you're looking at about 6 or 7 rides per day per bicycle. That's where the pretty graph with all the lights went. For us, we were anticipating 3. So we've gone very conservative on that. And where we've got the 3 from is we ran a survey that got 120 respondents. And it was about where people are going to ride, how much they're going to pay, and basically if they would ride. And the key thing with it is making it as convenient as possible and as cheap as possible for students in particular, who are young people who would do this kind of thing. Yeah.
Sorry. Also, have you thought about how you're going to reach your customers? Like, what are your channels, how your go-to-market plan, and what those channels are going to cost you, so your cost of acquisition per customer?
Yeah, so that's a big thing with apps, obviously. So there's a few things. Internally, because our beta fleet starts at the university, partly because it's private property, which helps us a lot on regulatory issues. We just have a good relationship with the uni. Basically, what we've done to lower the cost is they're doing a bit of the internal advertising to get staff on board with us. We're having a launch day and a series of parties. We have a digital influencer who works full-time with us. And yeah, anything below $3 per rider is probably going to be all right. But to be honest, we won't know until we go, you know.
So it's interesting you talk about the market for students, because one of the issues with students, they tend to do things that might, for an older person, seem a little unwise, like drink too much, then get on a bike. Mm-hmm. So how does that work from an insurance point of view? So in a nutshell, we're covered for it. Obviously, in our terms and conditions, there is a clause for that. Whether people actually read the terms and conditions, I mean, that's another thing. It is illegal in Australia to ride a bicycle while intoxicated. Also, it's just not smart. And we can't control dumb.
Anyone else?
Great, thank you very much.
Cool.
All right, the next award we're going to give away is the Best Scalable Business in Asia. Just before I do, I'd like to invite up Sabrina Burr, who's from Servcorp and currently managing the MLC Centre. Servcorp are one of our sponsors, the Genesis program, and this prize also includes a 6-month virtual office membership with Servcorp. So, yeah, please come and say a few words.
Thank you. It's really exciting to see so many great business ideas coming up in today's society. I work with over 1,000 businesses every day, and to see more and more ideas coming up with great plans is really, really exciting. So at Servcorp, you may or may not know, we basically help businesses grow a foundation, whether it's with a virtual office or a serviced office, and all the support that comes with that. So I look forward to presenting the virtual offices and also working with you to build your business even further. So, thank you.
And the winner of the Best Scalable Business in Asia is Airbike. Come on down.